Donald Trump is about to surrender to Iran. I know that if you believe that Donald Trump is just the most alpha strong guy ever and he would never do that, that might be tough to accept. But there is now reporting that Trump is getting set for an unconditional surrender to Iran. Now, remember that Donald Trump at the beginning of all this said that the only way that this war would end was with Iran's unconditional surrender. But according to the Wall Street Journal, what Trump is considering doing is just declaring victory, saying to Iran, open the Strait of Hormuz, and getting the hell out, even without having accomplished a single objective. This is effectively a total surrender. The groundwork that Trump is laying is coming from the reality that he probably can't win this war by any real definition. He's going to walk away seemingly with no nuclear deal. So, in plain English, the message is listen, reopen the strait, let the oil start moving again. I will just say we won and we're going to get the hell out of there. And of course, if we think about society and humanity, avoiding more war is good. I have opposed the blockade. I've opposed the threats of escalation. I've been against this war. The possibility of a ground war has been terrifying. It's great, right? Like, less war, that's awesome. But ending a war responsibly and pretending you won, but actually just surrendering are two completely different things. Trump went into this thing never defining victory. It was, well, we're going to stop their nuclear weapons program. I thought you did. Well, but we did. What about the uranium? I don't know. They can keep it. We're going to destroy their ballistic missiles capabilities. Yeah, well, that didn't happen. We're going to do regime change. Well, it did and it didn't happen, right? I mean, like literally the leader is different because you killed the previous one, but it's the same family. It's the same regime. We're going to bring Iran back and get a deal done. Well, what kind of a deal? Obama had a deal. You got out of the deal because you said it was no good. So whenever a goal became unattainable, the goals would just shift. And Trump's administration now says the strikes have destroyed the three main nuclear sites. Is that true? We don't really know. And they're saying Tehran is not going to be able to restart their program without us knowing. And that's good enough. But what happened to the agreement? What about Iran will never get a nuclear weapon and they're at the table and there's 60 days to negotiate and he's going to walk away, is what the Wall Street Journal report says. A real diplomatic victory would have some terms, a timeline, the ability to verify consequences if anything is violated from the deal. Trump is reportedly getting set to just tuck his tail between his legs, go home and go, yeah, but I won, didn't I? And everybody's going to go, won what? What are you talking about? Iran would reopen the Strait of Hormuz. That's, by the way, the central piece of leverage that it gained during the war. Iran didn't even have that leverage before this war started. And Trump would go, mission accomplished, oil traffic is happening again, it's flowing, I'm just going to go home. Even if that outcome remains uncertain, Iran is also reportedly demanding sanctions relief, the return of frozen assets, American military withdrawal, an end to the naval blockade, compensation for war damage. And Iran says there's no negotiations happening right now. Think about that. Trump started with they're going to cry uncle. Unconditional surrender, that's how it will end. There were going to be negotiations. The negotiations failed. Trump insists they are negotiating, while Iran goes, we're not negotiating. What is he talking about? And Iran has been able to avoid surrendering, and they are negotiating, and I don't mean it's not a literal negotiation, but they're negotiating in the sort of public domain in a way where everyone knows they can wreak havoc on Trump's presidency with what they can do in the Strait of Hormuz. First, really quick, a word from our sponsor. One of our sponsors today is the book What We Carry Forward by Ithal. It's a collection of connected stories about people trying to preserve truth, identity, family, and dignity as powerful institutions pressure them to conform. What really struck me is how the book turns those questions into just very human stories. The book looks at the fear and uncertainty of leaving a life behind, building another. As an immigrant to the United States myself, that really resonated with me. But it also asks this broader question: what does survival demand from us? What can silence cost? What do we owe people who can't simply blend in or play along? The book has been really well received, 4.8-star rating on Amazon. One reviewer says it's a truly vital, beautiful, heartbreaking book. There's also a bonus chapter I think my audience will love. It's a sort of dark, funny satire of the insanity of the current administration and the pressure to go along with just obvious political absurdity. Pick up your copy of What We Carry Forward by Ithal at davidpakman.com/carry forward. The link is in the description. Now back to the video. So this is going to be an embarrassment. And I want to hear from every single one of these MAGAs who goes, Trump is so strong. If Trump just turns around and goes, I won. Imagine if you're in a chess game and you're losing and the other player has a better position and you go, I won, and you shake hands. You've surrendered the game. You've lost. You can sit when you stop playing and say, I've actually won, other people can evaluate that and see if that is true. Now, then we get to the bigger issue. And this is now the 30,000-foot level. Trump told us he was the guy who would end the forever wars. He would never start forever wars. He's not so stupid as George W. Bush and Hillary and Biden and Kamala Harris, all of whom did or were going to start stupid wars. And now Trump started a war, and he can't get out of it seemingly without losing. And the proposed escape route is forget about the nuclear issue, give Iran concessions for reopening the waterway that was open to begin with before he started this thing, declare victory, and just hope everybody moves on. If that ends the killing, take it, right? I mean, like, I am an anti-war person at my nature, but we got to call it what it is, which is Trump started this optional war, achieved nothing, damaged the American economy, damaged his reputation, damaged so much. And now he's realizing he has no way out and he may just exit. Now, there's a lot of reasons to be feeling a sense of urgency to do this. It seems as though Republicans are going to be destroyed in November. The economy being as it is with inflation, jobs, all the things we've talked about today in the last couple of days, that is not going to set up Republicans for any kind of victory. And so there is an urgency because Trump knows Republicans lose, I get investigated for 2 years. This destroys whatever legacy I have, which isn't much. Trump increasingly is in this urgent situation, and we shouldn't feel bad for him. But here's the really important part. We have to punish the Republicans for it. I know I've said this before, but I have to remind people of it. There are people in my audience, moderate Republicans. They write to me. They go, David, sir. Usually they're a little nastier than that, but they might say, David, sir, I don't like Trump, but I live in Kentucky. Well, Kentucky's not a great example. I live in Florida. I live in South Carolina, whatever. My member of Congress is cool. I like him or her. My senator, I like my... You, by voting to reelect that member of the House or member of the Senate, are voting to reelect someone who has rubber stamped just about everything Donald Trump has done. And so we've got to forget about this whole false notion of, yes, Trump's a lunatic. He's not a good president, but I'm a moderate Republican and I like, whoever, John Thune or whoever's up for reelect. It doesn't even matter. They are part of rubber stamping everything. If from the beginning, Republicans had made it clear, we're not going to let you get away with this stuff. You can threaten some of us, but if we all stop you, you can't threaten all of us. You're not going to get all of us kicked out of office. If they had had the audacity to do that, or just the self-respect, quite frankly, we wouldn't be in this position to begin with. But that is the reality. So if you are going to try to comfort yourself by saying, oh, I wish Trump was different, but I'm going to vote to reelect every single one of the Republicans representing me, they are the reason Trump gets away with what he gets away with, because they do nothing to try to get in his way. And you, by reelecting them, are rubber stamping that. Don't do that. To my moderate Republican friends in the audience, don't do that, because it's pathetic. And we don't want to see that happen again.